There we go. There we go. Let's see. Can you hear me? I think I've got the cameras pointing the right way. I think I've got my microphones on. Let me just double check that. Okay. I'll just give that a go. Oh, yeah. Welcome to Crazy Time. Hi, guys. It's good to not see you, but good to be seen. Once again, coming to you live from Cuenca, Ecuador. Um, we have confirmation that we will indeed be coming home. Um, Flight on July 3rd, back to work July 7th. So fear not, I really am coming home, and I will get to see you guys in person soon, and not soon enough. So hopefully you can all hear me and see me, and you're ready to get some exercise with me, and we'll have a great day. And I'll fill you in on all the news once we get started. So sitting up tall, you know the drill, chin up and down, loosen up your neck. Let's see how many of us slept funny last night or spent too much time reading yesterday or just have a crick in our necks. And then with chin in neutral, I'm looking left and right. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm going to start by bragging on my dad because I know you guys are following along. His stroke was just about 8 weeks ago. And the day of his stroke, he could not lift his foot from the floor to the footrest in the wheelchair. Yesterday, he got cleared by physical therapy to get on the floor and back up. So, of course, his horrible daughter had him down on the floor and back up and doing lunges at the armchair, and he did a great job. So, um, just just so that you know, I know you all know already, but your bodies are incredibly resilient things. If you work hard and carefully, they can recover from really bad stuff. So you're doing all the right stuff, and I'm so happy you're here doing it with me. And I'm proud of all of you too, because you rock. So I'm just opening up the shoulders a little bit, and then I'm going to bring elbows together, open the shoulder blades, squeeze them together and back, stretch across the front, pull them back together. Helps if you do this sitting up nice and tall. Give your spine some length. Keep reaching your head up toward the ceiling. Beautiful. And I'm just going to double check. All looks good. All right, little circles down low. Again, loosening up the shoulders. Making the shoulder joint move in a circle. That's how it's designed to move. And then switching directions. I hear it's really hot in Denver today, so sorry. It's a good thing you have air conditioning there. You're probably all too chilly with the air conditioning on, but that's okay. It's, as usual, about 60 degrees and lovely here, 60, 65. Oh, so big side bend reach. Lengthening down the side of the spine. That feels good. Very nice, very nice. That's our side bend. Let's go into cat-cow. So hands on your knees, lean forward, lengthen your spine, arch your back, tuck your chin, and then reverse the curve. Tilt your pelvis so your belly button points at your toes and arch up and away. Beautiful. Mm-mm-mm. Once again, I could spend 20 minutes just doing this, but I won't. I won't. Sit up tall again, arms in front, and I'm just going to gently rotate. Oof. Very nice. And again, trying to keep my spine as long as I can. I can really feel the difference if I'm sitting up when I twist versus if I'm kind of slumped. It just doesn't twist very well if I don't lengthen through the spine. Okay, so there we got our upper body. I think we got everything pretty well loosened up in the upper body. Let's come down to the feet. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you can see my toes. Toes are out in front of my knees, and I'm going to draw the toes up and back down. Give them a good squeeze at the top. Pull from your shins. Excellent. Good. Once again, not really counting, but starting to feel the fatigue. We probably are pretty close to 10, 11, 12, and then slide the heels toward you and open up the front of the ankle. So heels up. Get your ankles nice and loose. Beautiful. Good. Pretty sure that is 12. I'm going to grab one knee and circle the ankle. Big, juicy circle moving just from the ankle, so not swinging the whole leg around, just right from that joint. And then other direction. And then switching legs. So I'm trying to figure out how I am going to tell you about the cool thing we did last night without completely losing track of what we're doing and how many we're doing. And I think I'm just going to give it a try. So if I don't tell you what we're doing, just look at me. When I change, I change. And if I forget to change, you're just out of luck. I may just keep going. So I'm sitting up tall, straightening and bending at the knee, bracing through the belly. So last night was the first night of the Corpus Christi festival here. It's a 7-day festival period. It's a religious ceremony. Corpus Christi means body of Christ, and it refers to the communion wafers, switching legs, in the Catholic tradition. So the first night, there's a processional from one church to the other, right? So probably 12 blocks of parade route. They take the monstrance, which is this huge gold construction in which they hold the host. I'm switching legs to the side to side. That sits on a table that's covered with roses and gets carried through the streets by pallbearers, right? So all along the processional route, the people from one church parade to the other. They've got horses, bands in the front and the back. All along the parade route, switching legs, they're throwing handfuls of rose petals. So people have these baskets, almost as big as laundry baskets, full of rose petals, all along the parade route, throwing rose petals. People on their balconies are throwing rose petals down. Just fascinating to watch. Okay, I think that's enough of that. I'm gonna grab my imaginary weights and we're gonna start with bicep curls. So we parade to the other church. They parade around the main square in front of the other church. As they're entering the big new cathedral, there are guys up on it's probably, I don't know, 4 stories high up on the ledge, overlooking the rose window to the main entrance of this cathedral. And they are throwing huge garbage bag loads of rose petals. You've never seen so many rose petals in your life raining down on this piece of, important religious significance. So They're in the church for an hour having mass. We didn't go to the mass. I'm going to tilt forward to do the tricep extensions. After the mass, everybody flows out of the church and people have gathered in this big central square. And they have these castles, they call them. They are built of bamboo and paper mache, brightly colored. They're they're broken down into levels during the mass, and then they're reassembled. And so each level is probably as tall as I am, 5 or 6 feet tall, and they stack them on top of one another so that these things end up being, I'm going to do a side raise now, sit up tall, core engaged, out to the sides. They end up being like 2 or 3 stories tall, really big things with sticks hanging off and circles and heart shapes, and then they light the fireworks, which are embedded in these castles, and they're right in the middle of the crowd. And these fabulous fireworks displays are going off from these homemade castles of bamboo and paper, and it's just the wildest thing you've ever seen. And we actually thought the crowd was quite subdued in their reaction because it was like nothing we had ever seen before. Um, and then on top of that, for I don't know, 4, 5, 6 blocks surrounding this main square, there are vendors set up in tents with tables piled high with sweets. So let's go to a one-armed row next. So every table has dozens and dozens of varieties of sweets, cookies, candies, pastries, traditional Andean and indigenous sweets, and then also more, modern stuff like gummy worms and vampire teeth. But just fascinating to see. So 150 tent vendors selling sweets, and they're all there for a week. So 7 days of this. I'm switching arms. I don't think they do the procession every day, but they do the mass every night and the fireworks every night in the main square. So just incredible to see the mix of sort of somber religious tradition and fabulous family party that goes on. Oh, and there were bands in the square playing music. It was just the funnest night. Very nice. And hopefully we'll get some good pictures and videos that we can show you guys. Beautiful. That's enough of that one. I didn't get too far off track during that, so I'm pretty happy. We might be a little lopsided, but not too bad. So let's do some sit-ups. So if you have your weights, you can either hold them or you can put them behind you. I'm going to sit forward on the front of the chair, cross my arms, lean back, keep that belly engaged, and then sit up to upright. And as I'm sitting up, I'm thinking about compressing through here, pulling the rib cage down, using those abdominal muscles to control that movement. Beautiful. So, I wish I could get caught up to date with all the stuff that's going on with you guys, because I'm sure there's news that I'm missing. And again, I'm not counting, but I'm starting to get tired, so we're probably at least at 8. Good. I'm going to call that good. I'm going to grab my imaginary weights again, sit back on the edge of my chair, put my shoulder blades in my back pockets, and let's do hammer curl to press. So thumbs to shoulders, press straight up. As I'm pressing up, I'm thinking about keeping the weights and my elbows in front of my shoulders, and then open all the way down. Good. Let's see. So we did biceps, triceps, back, a little bit of core. Let's do a chest press next. So one more of these. I know that wasn't 12, but it was close enough. So sit forward, lean back, weights across your chest like you're holding a barbell, so your palms are facing away from you. Brace your core. We want to be nice and solid through your core. We're going to press out, pull back, and I'm going to add single leg extend as I press. So straighten one leg as you press, alternate. Picking up one leg just helps you feel it a little bit more in your belly. I'm thinking we're about halfway through. So I'm going to go 11 and 12. We'll call that good. Excellent. Okay, so let's do a rear fly next because we need to work on the upper back. So one weight in each hand or no weights. Fold forward over your lap. Really lengthen your spine. Shoulder blades to your back pockets, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together so that you flap your wings. If it's too heavy with the weights, if you're straining, just put them down. Really focus on drawing the shoulder blades together. Hopefully I'll put together a nice slideshow of photos and videos, and maybe I can figure out how to share those with you guys when I get back in town so that you can see some of what we think is so cool about being here in Cuenca. Good. Again, I'm not counting, but I'm starting to get tired, so I'm pretty sure I've gone over my count. So put your weights down. Let's come up to standing and come around to the back of your chair or the side of your chair, whatever works. I'm going to move mine out of my way. And stand up tall with your feet hip width apart. Now I'm gonna fill a little bit because I know it takes a while for everybody to get around to the back of your chairs, and that is okay. But you know me, I'm always antsy. As soon as I stand up, I want to start going. So up on your toes, heels up. Good. And I'm trying to keep my hips underneath me, core engaged. Trying not to tip forward. Again, always hold on just as much as you need to. Today is not balance day, but of course, we're always working on our balance. Good. All right, I'm calling that good. Stand on your toe or stand on your heels, draw your toes up. And trying to do that without shoving my hips behind me. So brace your core, pull up the toes, slow it down a little bit, hold the contraction at the top. Beautiful. Last one. Okay, let's work on a little bit of hip rotation next. So I'm going to stand on one leg, tuck the toes of the other foot behind my knee of my standing leg. I'm going to try to get nice and organized here. Grip with the hip, stabilize through the core. Right? You're going to hold on. I'm going to hold on too. But I'm going to take this knee and swing it out to the side and back. I'm trying to keep this hip still. So I'm trying not to rotate my whole body. I'm trying to keep my torso straight ahead. I'm going to show you what that looks like from the side too. Knee comes out and back. I need a lighter background so that you can see when I move. I kind of blend into the table. There you go. So I'm just swinging that out, using the muscles in the hip to control that hip. Everybody's range of motion is going to be a little different. Good, I'm switching legs. That felt like enough. And you may need to turn, right? Depending on how long your arms are and how long your legs are, you may need to make yourself a little more space so that you're not whacking your chair. I'm going to try to keep nice and upright, keep this leg strong and stable, keep the pelvis pointed forward. Good. That feels pretty good. I'm going to switch legs again. Actually, I'm going to put both feet on the floor, a little bit wider stance. I think we deserve some hip circles after that one. So nice big hip circles. Maybe slow down a little bit. You might notice that you're tighter, like I'm much tighter right on that part of the circle. So tight in the front of this hip. You might feel it in your low back at some part of the circle. I'm going to reverse direction. Excellent. Okay. Hang on to your chair. You may need to turn sideways to your chair like I am, right? So you may need to turn your shoulder to your chair for this one. I'm going to stand on the leg closer to the chair and take the other leg and draw a half circle around my standing leg. So same thing, I'm trying to keep my torso upright, this hip nice and strong, and this hip nice and flexible. So I'm drawing, just slightly bigger than a half circle. If your shoes are sticking on the carpet there, you can do it with the foot hovering. It doesn't have to be sliding on the floor. You can pick it up a little bit. And I'm just trying to really work the range of motion in that hip and work on the stability of this hip. Good, I'm going to turn my back to you so I can do the other leg. Stand up tall again. Organize around your standing leg hip and then moving leg, half circle around this standing leg. I'm trying to keep my pelvis pretty still. I'm trying not to arch my back. I actually find it hard to bring the leg all the way around without getting a little bit of arch. If I want to take the arch out of my back, I have to really focus on standing up tall. Beautiful. Again, totally not counting, hoping that's about even, and swinging around to the front. Wide stance with the feet. All right, I want a nice stable base of support, and I'm going to do the big backstroke, reach up and around. This one, I want you to let your spine come along, right? So my pelvis is turning, my spine is turning, my shoulder is circling in the socket. Your arm may not reach all the way overhead. That's okay. Oh, that feels really good. I'm just going to stay right there. Oh, I'm still lopsided, even though I'm not driving. Beautiful. Excellent. All right, let's do some jumping jacks. So make sure you have space. Make sure you're not going to smack your neighbor. And we're going to jump without the jump. Tap out, tap out. Arms can go overhead or cross down here. Either way, or both. Doesn't matter. Just keep moving. And do this at whatever pace you like, right? If your shoulder's a little bit achy, a little bit stiff, go easy with it. If you're getting too warm, if you're getting out of breath, slow it down. If you're not working hard enough, do it faster. Easy peasy. Good, I know we're over 12. That's okay, I'm going to make you keep going. Because I can't hear you complaining. Actually, I kind of can't hear you complaining. That's good. That's good. All right, here we go. I'm going to get set up for punches. So I've got a wide stance. I've got a little bend in my hips and my knees, and I'm punching to the corners. I don't mean to laugh at you complaining, but I've got your number. And I'm okay with it. You know, you're always free to complain when you're with me. I'll be right there with you. Excellent. Man, oh man. Again, I'm astonished how quickly time flies, even half the world away. All right, good. I'm going to make you jump rope, though, before we start our stretches. So, pedaling right in place, swinging the rope, standing up tall. And then I'm going to switch directions on the rope. Keep pedaling or stepping. Excellent. That feels good. Let's go to our stretch. So, hang on to the back of your chair. One big step back. Double check that your toes are pointed straight ahead. Back leg is straight. And the tighter you make that angle at your ankle, the more stretch you're getting. So pull the foot back and lean forward for more stretch. That's too much. Bring the foot closer for less stretch. It should feel like a stretch, but it shouldn't hurt, you know. Should never hurt. And then switch. Use your breath. Take a nice deep breath here. Give it a chance to lengthen and relax. Good. And then grab your chair, walk backwards. Pull your hips back, flatten out your spine. And then bend your knees, tuck your hips, release that stretch, come back around to your chair and have a seat. And I'm going to start with the hamstring stretch. One leg out straight in front. I'm sitting on the edge of my chair and tilting forward just till I feel a nice stretch. Big deep breath. And then other leg. Oof. Good. Come back up to upright and let's bring one foot up on the opposite knee or hip stretch. Give it a wiggle and fold forward. So I was so sure that on this trip, because we were going to be here for a while, I was so sure I was going to find a gym. I was going to go to the gym every day. I was going to spend an hour, 2 hours a day working out. Guess how many times I've done that? 0. I am just like all of you. I don't want to do it any more than you do, but I do it because I know I need to. Switching legs. Actually, since I started YouTubing with you guys this trip, it's the most exercise I've had aside from walking. So fold it forward. Give that an opportunity to release and stretch and lengthen. Good. I'm going to do a seated twist next. So sit up tall, reach across your lap, lengthen your spine, and turn to look over your shoulder. Hold there, take a deep breath. Oh, that's good. Other direction. Get tall. Turn. Take a deep breath. And back to the front. Wide stance with your feet, hands together. Reach it up. Side bend. Oh. Beautiful. Tall again in the middle. Long spine. Swan dive forward. Go ahead and release it all the way down if it feels okay. Take a deep breath while you're down here. And then brace your belly and support yourself coming back up. Well done. Once again, so happy to not see you all here, but I know you're out there. And I will be back again on Monday, same time. We'll do this again. I'll tell you whatever fascinating things we find out we can do here over the weekend, and I'll catch you up to speed and make you work. So thank you everybody again for being here, and I can't wait to see you in person soon. Bye-bye.